Peace, God.
Peace to the God.
How you, God?
I'm studying 120 right now. Call me back at the God hour.
You're welcome. You're welcome. How's the new papa?
Doing good, man.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Haven't slept much.
Yeah. How are the poops?
Not bad. You know what it looks? It looks like crushed up pistachio.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good comparison.
Is that kind of a common thing?
Yeah. Give it some time. Okay. Oh, it gets progressively worse, but you'll
all right. So that's something I'll be looking forward to for sure.
Yeah, like Gigi had one today. I was just like, God damn! Like, do you take the cake in this family? Like, my God, I thought mine stunk.
How old is she?
She's 2 and is she 2.5 yet? Almost 2.5.
When did they start shitting in the toilet?
So Gigi, we're starting to she'll say like, oh, I gotta go pee pee, I gotta go poo poo, and we'll put her on the toilet. We have like this like porta potty toilet thing, whatever. But she hasn't gone yet. I think it's like anywhere between 2.5 and 3. They start to some later, some earlier, I guess. So
right,
you got some time.
Fingers crossed it's earlier.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes though.
Yeah, you got some time.
All right.
I'm a little afraid for it though, because I don't know. Once you let go of the diaper, it's like, oh fuck, like they shit their pants. It's like a complete disaster, you know. So.
Yeah, but you know what? That's on her though. You know.
It's like, yeah, I mean, out in public it'd be a nightmare, but we'll see.
Do you think Zach Wilson is potty trained or no? What a segue!
I love it.
That's amazing.
That is an amazing segue. Guys, it's Thanksgiving week. It's time to be thankful, grateful for all we have. But as Jet fans, we are not thankful or grateful for anything. Especially our quarterback. I don't know what to say. So I rank Zach Wilson as the 71st best quarterback in the NFL. That's where I got him. He's the worst starting quarterback in the league. I think every backup is better than him, and I think about half the third stringers are better than him. 71st is being generous. Paul, where do you
What
have
about some of the wide receivers?
There probably are some wide receivers, like Julian Edelman was a quarterback, right? He's probably better than him. It's so bad. Paul, unleash. Go.
I mean, we hoped, right, that everything that we saw with our eyes was wrong, and that we were hoping that he would be, that guy. We were just straight hopium, right? Everything. Just lying to ourselves the whole entire time since this guy took his first snap as the quarterback. He is a spoiled little bitch, and he's done.
Put him in the bedroom.
He's done. He is the epitome of, like, the villain quarterback, pretty boy from a small town who everyone hates in the movie.
Yes.
This guy is disgusting. He had 2 yards in the second half of an NFL football game. 2. And how many times did they have the ball that second half? 10?
Oh, too many.
2 yards.
Yeah.
2 yards. Literally, he could have done a QB sneak 50 times in the second half and had 65 yards. He had 2 yards. And there were guys open. There was plenty of opportunity. He did himself absolutely zero favors in the press conference after, just looking like a spoiled kid. He looked like a spoiled little brat.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that Salah came out today. His press conference was like an hour and a half, like, delayed, so I kind of assumed that they were talking about how they're going to go about this, and pretty much said, like, hey, everything is on the table. So he's telling the locker room, and he's telling Zach, like, the training wheels are off. Like, you're this close, like, we're not married to you. And it's getting so close to just being done. Because if he starts this Chicago game poorly on Sunday, I think he'll start, but it's going to be a very short leash. The crowd is going to be just ready to explode and go after him. And when that happens here in New York, you don't recover. You're done. So
Yeah.
I'm not expecting him to play well this Sunday. I think he's going to crawl into a shell like he normally does, and it's going to be the Mike White era. See what he can do, maybe, or Flacco. I don't know if they'll go back to him, but they're definitely going to be looking for a new quarterback this offseason. And I think every Jet fan, like, we hoped. You saw the flashes, but, like, I know for myself, deep down, this kid is just no. He had a bad vibe. He has such a punchable face. There's just something about him just irked me from the day I saw him. Where he came from, the school, the BYU, just everything. Like, he wasn't from a big conference. There's just so many red flags with it. He didn't even dominate in that conference. He had a great highlight tape. Like, Coastal Carolina destroyed him. And, like, who was their top competitor his last year or whatever. Coastal Carolina. Like, what the hell do you think Bill Belichick is going to do? So they clearly got it wrong again, unless a miracle happens. But let's be real. I mean, his comparison stats that they were showing with his first 18 games line up with Jamarcus Russell and Johnny Manziel. So
yikes.
Like, really?
Not ideal. Not ideal.
I'm done with him. I've been done, but now it's official.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, and you
know what the unfortunate thing is? I feel like the team is very ready to compete.
Yes.
Like, I think they have one of the top 4 or 5 defenses in the NFL, if not the top defense. Like, even this weekend, holding that Pats team to 3 points, and they got a really good set of young skill position players. So, like, any kind of productivity, I think, from the quarterback. I mean, even right now with the quarterback situation, they're still sitting there at 6-5 in the AFC, or 6 and 4 in the AFC. You're right there. You're right in the mix. So that tells you how good the rest of the roster is, even despite the poor play at quarterback. I think he's ranked 32nd in, like, most categories. So, I mean, there's still time for this team to turn it around if they could figure that out. But really, it's kind of a shame, honestly.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I was gonna say he's pretty dumb, right? So he obviously had one of the worst games he's ever had, if not the worst game he's ever had as a pro. And you just come out, and you know what? Fans will appreciate if you come out and just are honest and say, "Hey, I sucked." Josh Allen did it, right?
Yep.
Nobody thinks any less of Josh Allen. You just had a bad game. Hey, I sucked. I didn't give credit to the coaching and the defense and everyone else, and you just say, I lost the game, and own it, right? Everything is your fault. And even when it's not, it's still your fault. And that's how you got to be as the quarterback and the leader of the team. He shows no leadership qualities, and he's right. He's Bo Callahan from draft day. He's the quarterback that teammates didn't show up on his birthday party. The defense is liking tweets that are all, negative about him. I'm scared that he lost the team already.
Yeah, I think it's over. And Paul, something you mentioned, how we were kind of like, ooh, I don't know about this pick. We were like that. I wish we can go back to past episodes, and we were kind of like, oof, I don't know about this. Like, the warning signs were there, right? But it's worse.
Oh, yeah.
It's worse than we thought. I mean, we had our issues with Darnold and with Sanchez and even Geno, I guess, for a little bit. But this is worse than all 4. You know what I mean? Worse of the 4. It sucks, and it makes you think about Joe Douglas. Like, he's been amazing as a GM, I think, with literally everything except for this. This is like, it's so.
You know
bad.
what? Now that you say that, it's not Joe Douglas. It's the draft. The drafting a quarterback is like a league-wide problem now.
Yeah,
because. Mm-hmm. The bust rate for any NFL prospect in the first round, they say, is 50%. Okay? That's for any NFL prospect. But I feel like the last 5 or 6 years for quarterbacks, it's been way higher. And I wish I would have went back and just gone through all the quarterbacks that have been drafted in the first round the last 4 or 5 years. Because I guarantee you 75% of them have either busted out of the league or they're mediocre. I think what's happening is guys that are getting second and third round grades. Probably, I want to go back all the way to like Christian Ponder, who like everyone kind of had in the third round, right? And the Vikings kind of reach up and they grab him like 15th overall. And even like Baker Mayfield, same deal. He was like a second or third round guy. All of a sudden, he's first overall. Kyler Murray, they were saying fourth round before that year. He has a good year now. He's the first pick overall. I just think that teams get so excited about drafting a quarterback and being in position to draft a quarterback. They did, instead of letting the process happen and taking whatever is there for them, it's a constant reach. Like if Zach Wilson got drafted 14th or 15th and had a year behind, a quality starter and the team was a little bit better, maybe it's a different situation right now. But I definitely think it's a league-wide problem.
100%.
Which is another thing why teams that are, I don't think the Jets thought they would be contending this year or even, playoffs, whatever. I look at Taylor Heineke, Nick Foles back in the day, Minshew. What do these teams have against starting, a middle of the road, like veteran quarterback? It's not the worst thing, right?
Yeah.
And they're so against that. They're like, nah, we have to find this guy from freaking,
Mahomes.
Tennessee, Chattanooga, that can throw, or that, like, they want to, the guys that have the highlight tape, like, oh, he can do this. He can make this throw at the combine. Like, that's all you saw with Zach Wilson with these highlights. Oh, my God, he threw a ball 80 yards, falling backwards, side on. Okay,
the rollout
great.
pass.
Yeah,
that's great, bro. You can't throw a 2-yard screen pass with the guy wide open. Like, who gives a shit, right?
Yeah, like look at the Niners too. Like they
Right.
trade up all that. They use all that draft capital to trade up and get Trey Lance. When Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, it's not pretty, but he's been in the Super Bowl and he's been to the NFC title game. You trade up for this guy, he gets hurt. I mean, they could have stood pat where they were. And who knows? Maybe they could have had like a Micah Parsons or Devontae Smith, or you trade up to that spot. They could have got Jamar Chase in that spot. You know what I mean? So that's just another example. Imagine those guys on that team. So,
Yeah, three years in a row. If you look at Jimmy G, right, in 3 years, it was Super Bowl, NFC title.
He wins.
So-
He wins.
Yeah.
He wins.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's tough, right? Because I think you're nothing unless your quarterback is good. So everybody's reaching to grab that. I was thinking about that today, right? It used to be like Peyton Manning, number 1 pick, and and he was generational talent, right? But now look at the top quarterbacks. Like Josh Allen was a number 1 pick. Lamar Jackson was the last pick in the first round. Pat Mahomes was, I think, pick 13. Pick 10. It's not necessarily, and that's like the top tier. Everyone else is like in the middle.
I think
Right.
the talent is so strong in the NFL right now that like if you're going to reach and get a quarterback with the first pick, and he's not this bulletproof prospect, and even if he is, like Trevor Lawrence coming in, this guy was the bulletproof guy, right? But you're going to end up on a team that's horrible. You know what I mean? Like you're going to end up on a team that was the worst team in the NFL, like 1 win or 2 wins, and you're going to come in there, and the expectation is going to be that you're going to start like from day one on this crappy team, and then 3 games in, if you don't deliver, like you're going to get destroyed on the internet. You're going to get destroyed on like what happened to this guy? How come this guy can't perform? It's almost an impossible situation. That's why I think, Josh, when you're saying guys later in the draft, I think they're in much better situations, less pressure. I think that might be the norm going forward. Even look at teams that like look at this year's MVP crop. It's like Geno Smith. He's in Seattle. The team's good around him, and he's making plays. Even Tua is like top of the league in almost every category. I don't think anyone would say that Tua is the most talented quarterback in the NFL, but the team is loaded, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's got a lot to do with it. The team setting.
It's also tough because all these GMs and coaches have such a short leash, right? We always talk about like Black Monday, right? Like when the playoff teams are set, how many coaches get fired, and they've only been at their place maybe 2 years, 3 years. So you need, there's so much pressure and urgency to get the quarterback early in the top 5 picks and then play him right away. Like realistically, Zach Wilson in the right situation, he should be sitting. And I forgot who it was.
Yes.
I forgot who it was. I think it was Robbie Anderson. He was saying that he was like, Sam Darnold was set up to fail right from the get-go because that kid should have came in and sat for 3 years and then played. But because he had to play right away, he had really no time to develop or learn. He was just kind of thrown into the fire. and he was a really good prospect, Sam Darnold.
That's what happens because what happened? You have who drafted him? McCagnon, right? Who was on the hot seat.
Yep.
And he gave up all the draft capital to draft him 3. So he's like, all right, this is my only chance. I have to start him basically. So yeah, they put these kids in such a hard position. It does no one favors. It doesn't help anybody.
Pat Mahomes sat for a full year, but it's not even just sitting. It's like, who are you behind? He had Alex Smith, who, of course, like Alex Smith was a very good player, but he wasn't like a superstar quarterback. But like Alex Smith, I bet you right now could be an offensive coordinator or maybe even a head coach because he's just smart, right? He just didn't have the talent, and the abilities to be the top quarterback in the NFL, but he knows his stuff, right? And sitting behind somebody like that and learning for a year probably goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Aaron Rodgers, too. 3 years behind Favre.
3 years. That's crazy. Think about that. 3 seasons. 3 seasons that dude sat. That's unbelievable. I can't even. It's unimaginable.
And he's a first-round pick.
Yeah.
First-round pick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's brutal. I don't like, Paul, you said they'll probably start Zach, and you're probably right. I hate that. I think they should just start with Mike White. Like, just fuck it. Like, why put Zach out there? The crowd's already going to be against him, right?
Is Mike White better than Zach Wilson, though?
No one knows. I don't know. Paul, what do you think?
I mean,
I think that's the problem that Saul has to figure out. Because he did say he's like, everything's on the table. I think that's what's on the table that he has to figure out. Like, at Zach Wilson's worst, is he still better than Mike White? He probably is.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll find out because I'm telling you, if he doesn't, that first incomplete pass that sails like over someone's head on Sunday, it's gonna be an away game.
Bluebirds.
Oh yeah,
the Bluebirds.
It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be bad. Well, so I had half the third stringers in the league better than Zach. So is Mike White? He's a third stringer, right? Is he one of those 16 that are better? I don't know.
We'll see.
And then Flacco. There's no
he
chance
could have been any worse yesterday. All of us could have done a better job. Literally, he could not have done worse.
So frustrating because you were right. It was like, how many possessions did they have? And it was just like you knew nothing was going to happen. It was
nothing.
Incredibly. And then I think you said it. You're like, this is ending in a defensive touchdown or special teams touchdown, and it literally ended in the worst possible way. Like untouched, like punt return, the only punt return for a touchdown all season. It's like amazing. I know. Amazing.
And I wasn't even like mad. I was just like, of course, just like, all right, like just I was happy it ended almost because if that went into overtime and then the Jets have 3 possessions, don't do anything, and then the Pats get a field goal at the end, it'd been torture.
Well, at least the Jets would have
happy.
At least the Jets would have covered though.
Of course, against the Pats too.
I know.
That was like the worst beat of the day.
But if you're the defense, I mean, what are you thinking? Like, oh fuck, we got to go out there again? Like really?
So frustrating. Yeah.
Come on.
It's so frustrating.
And then this dude, he comes up after the press conference, chewing on his gum, looking like a teenager, and then he just reminded me of like a freaking spoiled 10-year-old. And they were asking him legit questions, and he just gives these one-word answers like no. Like,
no, he's a privileged little
Oh man,
it's brutal.
He is like the casting epitome of the villain, kid that you just don't like.
Yeah, and even I always bring him up, but even Bill Simmons made the point, and he's a Pats fan. He's like, I was watching this game. He's like, the Jets are good. They're a good team.
They're very good.
Yeah, which makes it even worse. It's such a shame because again, just a serviceable quarterback, and this team, Flacco has 5 touchdowns this year. Zach has 4. Flacco has 4 touchdowns, and how many fewer games has he played? It's like, and we were all like, oh, get Flacco out of here, but oh my god.
Yeah.
How mad was Garrett Wilson?
Yeah, he was furious.
That's the thing. He was furious, and they asked Salah about that today, and he's like, what did you think about his comments? He's like, what? It was the truth. He called a spade a spade.
Yeah.
What do you want him to say? It looked like shit. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, sometimes I get on the floor, I'm like, maybe it's not all Wilson. Okay, maybe it's LaFleur not putting him in good positions. Then you see these, like,
Clips, yeah.
clips over and over of different plays of guys
Wide open. Yeah.
wide open, clean pocket, wide open, and he's looking at him, and he doesn't throw it. So I don't know if he's just like gun shy, but how can I say he's gun shy when then again he drops 30 yards back, scrambles around, and then throws the ball to nobody? So you know what I mean? It's like it makes no sense.
It's the quarterback position. I mean, it is the hardest position in sports, right? Half of it, like, it's kind of like running. For me, like, running is like half of it is mental. I feel like it's the same for quarterbacking, right? Half of it has got to be mental, because you're right. Like, he probably sees the guy. He's like, oh, that guy's open, but he's just like, it's like stuck to his hand. He's just so nervous and just in over his head. I don't know.
Sometimes I see a lot with young quarterbacks. Also, I feel like they've been making like spectacular plays their entire lives, like from like peewee football to high school to college, right?
Yeah.
That like sometimes even like a play that's like that, you know, just get the pop yardage sometimes. You know what I mean? Versus like, you know, keeping the play alive, you know, trying to extend the play, stretch it outside the pocket, then try to do something crazy. Like, just take what the defense gives you sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like basketball when you can't hit the ocean. Like, when you just can't hit a shot, the best thing to get you going is like hit a couple free throws or get like some layups.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Just like get that feeling of getting the ball in the basket. And that's what these quarterbacks need to do.
Definitely.
Complete a 5-yard pass, right?
Yeah, dink and dunk.
Like,
Yeah.
They couldn't do it yesterday.
A couple of dinks and dunk. Yeah, because even the Pats, I mean, that's how good the Jets defense is, because the Pats, they were getting a lot of third downs for a while there. And then they missed 2 field goals. Let's be honest, that game could have been really bad. If they hit those 2 field goals, Zach should have had a pick 6, right? If that happens, it could have been a blowout, but you know.
Yeah, he threw 2 picks. They just dropped it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the missed field goals. I mean, as much crap that Jones gets, he moves the ball on teams. He can never. When he gets inside the 20 or the 30, he can't do anything else.
Yeah,
it's all dink and dunk. But
and I think they're not. Dable's smart enough to know that he is what he is, and they can't really change him. So I think they gave him like free reign. Like, hey, listen, if the pass is there, take off, go nuts, go run down the field.
You mean you talk about Dable with DJ?
Yeah.
That's a good transition. Let's talk about the G-men who, I don't know, have they lost their magic here, their mojo? You know?
So I was thinking about it.
Yeah,
I was thinking about if they're going to win another game.
Ooh.
I think they will.
They're going to. Well, it really comes down to this. I was looking at their schedule today. It's those 2 Washington games. That's it.
Yeah, because it kind of feels like, listen, I think before the season started, we said like this was the range, right? Like it was like 6 wins to 9 wins, right?
Yeah.
We have 7 now. We had 4 pretty easy teams, and we went 2-2. Like, I didn't expect them to have 9 wins going into Thanksgiving, but now the schedule picks up, right? You got 1 against the Cowboys, 2 against the Commanders, 2 against the Eagles, and you get into the little tough part. And the problem is that we don't have an NFL talent offense. Daniel Jones is great, good. Saquon Barkley is great. Danny Jones is good, but they have nobody to throw to. So what do you do?
And they showed that Detroit yesterday. We're going to shut down Saquon. We're going to stack the box, and you can't throw the ball. And then they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I think there's probably like 7 teams in the SEC that have a better receiving core than the Giants.
Seriously.
No,
Yeah,
seriously. They don't have any talent. Like, the Giants don't have any talent on at skill position. But like, to Josh's point, yeah, the schedule gets a lot harder. Like, I don't know, like Magic, like, you know, like Detroit, that's their 3rd win in a row. They got a pretty good offense. And I think one comment that I made yesterday was like, it doesn't matter if the Giants are playing the 85 Bears or like Fort Lee High School. Like, they're going to score 19 to 22 points. Like, that's what they're going to do. They're not going to score more than that. So it's going to have to be the defense, and it's going to have to be the special teams, and they didn't have it yesterday. But I think I think they're going to makeshift their way to 9 or 10 wins somehow.
What
Yeah,
where they at now?
They got 7. They got 7. So yeah,
They'll get 2
get
more.
9 for sure.
Yeah.
they should get 2 more just on the sole fact that Dable's smart, right? He'll know how to coach, and the defense is good enough. But really, man, they have no wide receivers to throw to. I was disappointed. We lost Wan'Dale Robinson, our rookie for the year, tore his ACL.
He was the one guy catching balls yesterday too.
Yeah. And what I think what's going to hurt about this week is if we lose to the Cowboys, a few days will pass, and we might hear that Odell Beckham might be going to Dallas too.
Yeah. Yeah, and that line is 8.5 right now. It started at 7, I think. So I don't know. It's
I think Giants. I think it'll be a close game.
I think so too. I don't know if they'll win, but I think it'll be close. But yeah, Giants.
I mean,
yeah. I think,
what the hell happened to the Cowboys? They're the best team in NFL history yesterday.
So that was nuts. The fact that Vegas, the wise guys, they had the Cowboys as a 1-point favorite in Minnesota, and we're all thinking like, oh come on, Minnesota's coming off a crazy win in Buffalo. They've lost one game, and maybe they're better than they're not that they're not really like lucky like everyone thinks. Like they're gonna kill the Cowboys or whatever. The Cowboys, my goodness, what the hell did the wise guys know? Like, what they know there?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm not betting against them ever again. Like, that is ridiculous.
No.
Dallas' defense is pretty good.
Pretty good.
They're pretty good. So, I mean, they got a lot of talent at between Zeke, Pollard, Dalton Schultz, CeeDee Lamb. They got guys.
No, they're really good.
NFC's weak. They're one of the better teams in the NFC for sure.
How did they blow that game to the Packers? They were up 14 in the fourth quarter. Like, what happened that game? Cowboys are way better than that game.
That's just like, I feel like that's just like the Cowboy way. Like, they're gonna find a way to shoot themselves in the foot every once
true.
in a while.
That's very true. They're the national game all the time. They probably play pretty, they're like on edge because of that. The whole country's watching. I have no idea, but yeah. But Thanksgiving, this is a nice slate coming up, right?
Minnesota?
Yeah. Well, you got Bills, Detroit. Bills staying in Detroit, right? I gotta think they probably just stayed there.
Yeah.
I actually like Detroit. I mean, it's 9.5 the spread right now. 9.5. Detroit's kind of got some momentum going, right? They had that comeback against the Bears, and then they go into MetLife and beat down the Giants. I don't know. I kind of like Detroit there. Good spot.
Which makes me think it seems too good to be true, right?
I know.
I like the over.
Okay.
I don't think Detroit's defense. I don't think Detroit's defense is great. I think the Giants' offense stinks. So I think Buffalo's gonna be able to score, and Detroit's offensive line is really good. I think, and the line a lot of points. So I think it's gonna be a high-scoring game.
Okay, I like that. What do you like, Paul?
If I had to go, I mean, looking at Thanksgiving 9.5, and like Detroit, they're not like pushover. They can score. Yeah, I like the over, like Adam said, but I would take Detroit. Yeah,
this is like their Super Bowl, right? Every year, like they get the turkey, they get the Thanksgiving game, 1:00 or 12:00, whatever. So I feel like they're going to be fired up. Juice, what do you think?
I think Buffalo routes them.
Okay, that could very, very well happen. Buffalo. I mean, I can't believe it. The spread was 8 against the Browns and ended up pushing. Unbelievable. But
honestly,
happened at the end.
Browns they could have easily won that game if you like followed it in the beginning. They dropped like 3 touchdowns, Cleveland. They
did?
The fumble. Okay. Yeah, there was like a lot of stuff that they jumped up 7-0. They should have been up like 14 or 17 points, and then they just, Cleveland did away. So
yeah. Watson coming back at the wrong time. I think he comes back. Does he come back this Sunday, or is it like the following?
Whenever they play at Houston, so I think it's.
I think it's week 11.
Okay, it's like what's the point?
Might be next week.
They're not going anywhere. So that should be a fun game, and then Giants Cowboys, which is always a fun game. That's 8.5. I don't know. I think it'll be close. Those games are always close, right? So, Cowboys by a field goal, maybe. That's what I'm thinking.
You know what? If the Giants won that game, I wouldn't care if they lost every game for the rest of the year.
You just want the Thanksgiving game, the
Yeah.
turkey game? Yeah.
I'd be happy with the Thanksgiving Day in Dallas win.
In Dallas win, yeah, that'd be a nice
Honestly,
one. Pancakes, Juice, what do you guys think?
For which one? The
Giants, Cowboys.
Giants, Cowboys.
Giants, G-Men cover. I think it's going to be a very close game.
Yeah, I think they cover. Yeah, big time.
Barkley on turf, he'll go off.
The first game, it was close up until we actually took the lead, and then the third quarter they broke away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? The Cowboys don't typically play all that great on Thanksgiving. I'll say it's a close game.
That's actually a good that's a good question. So I'm going to look up Cowboys Thanksgiving record.
I usually spend Thanksgiving with some Cowboy fans, and they're usually cursing by dessert. So
Let's see. Thanksgiving record. There it is. So,
Got to be over 500 for sure.
the hell? How many times? Oh. So Dallas Cowboys. Oh wow, Juice. They're actually better than I thought. 28, 15, and 1 all time on Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Okay.
That's very good.
Let's see with the Lions. Lions. I can't imagine it's. I can't imagine it's good. But you never know. Let's see. The Lions are
10 and 40.
it's not 37, 42, and 2.
Would you want to play on Thanksgiving if you were an NFL player?
I wouldn't. Nah.
No. I don't think it matters to these guys.
If it's the early game, I mean, I think these guys, they have to practice anyway early on Thanksgiving. So it's like, if you play the early game, then you have the whole day after. And then you have the weekend off to like chill.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I guess that's cool.
I think I'd like.
I think I like it if you know you're gonna win. If you lose, it's got to be like
Yeah,
shitty.
it's gotta
like,
suck.
Yeah, because I mean the number for that, I gotta think. After the Super Bowl, is Thanksgiving like the best number, or do you think it's the championship games? I don't know.
It's probably up there for regular season though. The Thanksgiving game.
Yeah, I mean, literally
Thanksgiving.
everyone's watching. I mean, it's like the parade. People go from the parade to the NFL games. You know.
Yeah.
So, and then now we never had this really growing up, but it's happened the last decade or so. We get a night game, which
That
is
third game. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
what's the third game?
it's a good one. Pats at Vikings.
Minnesota, big for the Jets. Minnesota to win.
Yeah. So that's
Is that in Minnesota? Or
Yes.
is it in
yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Which
Patriots' schedule is brutal. I think.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But yeah, Vikings should.
I never make the third game. I'm usually conked out by that.
yeah. It's a tough one, right? All the food and
Yeah.
drinking and weed smoking.
Yeah.
and- yeah.
Definitely drunk.
Yeah, it's a tough one. But it's a good one. Vikings are laying 3. I don't know. I say there's no way they lose 2 in a row at home, do they?
Coming off that game on a short week, that this is like, they don't bounce back at that game. I'd be
Oof.
shocked.
Yeah, I'll be shocked too. I think they cover.
I still think the Pats stink. I think
They do,
Vikings
man.
stink.
They just have the Jets number. It's just
Yeah,
it's
I
what
agree.
it is.
Definitely.
Who knows though? I doubt this would happen, but maybe they meet in the playoffs. Jets Pats? No, I don't think.
No, either one of them will. It's going to come down to them. Those two who are going to win. I'm sorry. Who gets to the playoff is the last spot.
Right, because Dolphins and Bills are
Buffalo's
shooing.
in.
Yeah,
Buffalo's in. Miami's in. One of Cincinnati or Baltimore will be the other wild card, I assume.
yeah,
Chargers are done. Right?
yeah.
I think Chargers are done after that loss last night. And it's going to come down to Jets Pats, and they have the tiebreaker, which sucks.
Maybe like
But,
Baltimore, Cincinnati, right? Did we say that? Or is one of those
yeah,
guys?
one of those will be a wild card.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Colts. The Colts. Panero's Colts have a shot.
I'm shoveling dirt on the Colts.
They almost pulled it off against Philly. They blew it at the end
Yeah.
there. People would be all fired up about them if they won, but
Yeah.
is what it is. All right, cool. So shall we transition over to hoops?
Sure.
Do you guys want to do an hour on Utah Watanabe?
Watanabe?
The god.
Where did he come from?
Oh, Japan.
He got Toronto last year. He's on a non-guaranteed.
Nice role player.
He's got $1.5 million non-guaranteed this year.
What was the corner 3 stat you had? That was amazing.
He's 17 for 22 on corner threes. He's first in the NBA in 3-point percentage, and he's first in the NBA in spot-up jumper percentage.
Oh, my God.
Damn. Wow.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Tokyo Drift.
Is he their second most valuable player right now?
No, I would say he's the first most valuable player.
Yeah, actually, yeah, maybe. So where are the Nets going here? Because it's like on and off. Like the one game they look amazing, the next game they're terrible. You know, Durant makes comments, Kyrie with his whatever. I have no idea what direction this team's going.
To me, it seems like they're gonna take this runway here from now till January 19th is when all the off-season free agents can be traded. So I think now you're gonna get a little runway here to see if this team can make any noise. At which point, they'll decide which direction to go. Me personally, like just watching the team and it just feels like an insurmountable amount of chaos just constantly. Like, I don't think this is over with Kyrie. I think something else is going to happen.
Oh,
so,
God.
I don't believe.
Like what?
I don't know. Like, who had black Israelite protests on their bingo cards this year? Like what's next? Like, if you can't even predict, like, who knows? So like to me, I look at the Celtics and I look at the Bucks and I'm like, how the hell is this team going to put together and like beat one or both of those teams in a 7-game series? So if it were up to me, like, I don't really think this team is winning a title. I would try to see, like, Durant right now he's playing like one of the 2 or 3 best players in the NBA. Like, just get everything you can back for him. Hope Ben Simmons comes back into form. He's only 25, 26 years old. Okay. And just those 2 pieces, if you get a draft pick back, if you get a young guy back, if you slide back into the lottery, you still have control of your pick because Houston's so bad they're not going to swap with you. Houston's going to end up in the top 4, so that's the route I would take. I would trade KD for a young guy. Like if they traded KD for Scotty Barnes, for example, like they're still going to suck. So just fall back into the lottery, use your lottery pick, and hopefully get a couple other pieces there. Or if they trade KD for like Mikal Bridges and stuff, or to the Pelicans for like that Laker pick or whatever it is, like any of those trades where you get a young guy back or some young potential back, couple picks, you hope Ben Simmons is real, you hope this resurgence is real, and that's the route I would take. But we'll see what they do.
Yeah. And when's Kyrie play again?
So he played yesterday.
Oh, he did play yesterday. I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah, he
see
played
that.
yesterday. He 14 points. He had on 12 shots. Not great. He went 5 for 12, 0 assists. But he was fine. He had a couple nice plays. I don't know. Like, fine. Well, we'll see. I mean, it's not like they don't have talent. Like Kyrie, Simmons, and KD. That's a nice trio, especially if Simmons is really as good as he's been. And then like Watanabe, Harris, Seth Curry. They got some shooting there. Claxton, who was out yesterday, but he'll be back. Like, the talent's there. I just think the off-court stuff is just insurmountable.
Yeah. I think, yeah, like you said, I mean, I think it's just like, let's see what it is until, I don't know, the deadline. Like, you don't envision a trade happening before the deadline, right? Teams are going to be like weighing their options.
I think my prediction would be January 19th. That's when everybody's available. So that's what I think. Right around that time, if the Nets are like 500, you'll hear like, there's been rumblings about KD out, and this, that, and the third. Then I think they'll stretch it to the deadline and try to get the maximum value they can for KD, and maybe buy out Kyrie or try to trade him for a pick if he's a model citizen the rest of the way and plays well. But if he's a model citizen and he plays well and KD's playing well and Simmons is playing well, the flip side of that is, maybe they'll be pretty good. Maybe they'll be second or third place in the East. Yeah, and that's a little bit of a tougher decision if everybody's playing well and they're good. But like I said, my gut feeling between KD's trade demand, Ben Simmons is mental whatever, Kyrie, who the hell knows what comes next with Kyrie, and then all that all on top of all that, all those guys, they're kind of injury prone. So you hope everyone can stay healthy at least. But I don't expect this team to be a top 2 seed. in January. So my prediction would be that they're going to blow this thing up.
Okay. Speaking of blowing things up, the New York Knickerbockers, who I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough to watch. I don't know where this team's going. They're like
they're on in 1 minute.
Yes, playing the Thunder again, second time in I guess almost a week here. Juice, you were there in person to witness that disaster.
Last Sunday I was there live. 145 to 135.
Jesus Christ.
No defense. It was sold out. It was in front of like thousands of children because it's a Sunday matinee game. All these kids have off, and which it was a really, really fun atmosphere. I don't know the way this is going out. So they're 8-9 right now. Hopefully they win tonight. They'll be 9-9. But I think this is who they are. They're a 500 team, a little less if they're not playing well, and maybe a little bit more if they are playing well. My concern is that as it stands now, there are no stars that you can get.
Right.
There's
no one right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Thibodeau, I think the coach is a goner because once, like now you're judged by the court of the media and everybody is turning on him and has turned on him. But, I'm the one guy that tries to stick up for him a little bit. And I think that he's coaching what he has and what he's been given. And a lot of the blame needs to fall on Leon Rose. I mean, he constructed this roster and he didn't pull the trigger 3 times. He didn't pull it for Murray. He didn't pull it for Mitchell. He didn't pull it for Ivy. You have all these assets, and I think somebody else is going to be using them. And what I'm really afraid of is if there's no attainable stars that really you get excited about, then they're going to get desperate and make a deal for like an Anthony Davis or a Bradley Beal or Carl Anthony. Yeah, it's going to be a disaster. So this is my suggestion. Just don't do anything. Maybe shorten the roster, shorten the rotation by trading Rose to a contender and trade Fournier to a team that needs some shooting. But everything else, play the young guys. Barrett has been awful, but the one thing I'll say about him is he just turned 22 years old. He's like 6 years away from being anything. And maybe he's Harrison Barnes, which is bad. Yeah. But we have the picks, right? Let's keep them and use them.
Yeah.
As if interesting thing.
Yeah, stop drafting Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina and
yeah, that's the problem. So if you can't draft well, then they should trade the picks. But assuming that they have somebody who knows what the hell they're doing, the picks are valuable. As it stands, I'll just say this one thing and I'll kick it to you guys for your thoughts. But the Wizards are playing really well, right? We own a protected pick of them. So let's just say the playoffs started today. We have 3 first-rounders. We have ours, we have the Wizards, and we have the Mavericks pick. That's 3 first-rounders. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's this year?
This year, yeah. But it's heavily protected.
Yeah.
Right now, the Wizards are doing very well. So that's great for us. We'll get the pick. But if they come back down to reality and end up being like a play-in team, which I think that's what they're really like, then they'll probably keep it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Juice, I agree with everything you said, but and I don't want to sound like a hater, but I just can't watch Julius Randle on this team anymore. I can't. You would be opposed to trading him? You want to see him with this team?
No, here's the thing. I think he's our best player, though. We don't have a lot of talent.
Yeah, no, he is.
I'll say this, right? Like, I think, would I like to see Obi Toppin start? Yes, because it'll space out the floor and, you could get creative and then maybe you'll lose games, but at least you'll find out if people are good or not.
Exactly.
I'll say this, and it's I don't think I texted you guys. I told Adam this. Julius Randle, and I've noticed it for some while, and it really hit me when I was there live on Sunday. Julius Randle has some weird, Patrick Ewing clout in the Madison Square Garden, and I don't know why it is or what it is, but he gets special treatment. And I'll give you an example. I went to the game last Sunday, and you know how they do the lines for the national anthems?
Yeah.
They're facing each other, the teams. He's there he just had a girl. He's holding his baby girl, and Kaiden, is that his name? The son, the older son?
Yeah.
He's like standing in front of him for the national anthem. And I've never seen that before. I've never seen the players like kids with them when they're doing the national anthem. It's usually just the players side by side. So he's holding his baby and he has his son in front of him. And then national anthem ends and then he goes to the courtside and his wife is there and he gives his kids the thing. But I think there's some rumors that Julius Randle somehow helped Leon Rose get that job or get an interview with Dolan or whatever. He has some weird clout where they can't bench him. They can't do anything. I think if Kenny Atkinson was coaching this team, he would have benched Randall and then had Obi start just to space the floor and see what it would be like.
So
I've never seen that in a layup line where somebody had their kids, by the way.
Yeah.
Never seen that.
That's amazing.
Even when he won most improved player that amazing year, 2021 season.
Yeah.
His kid gave him the award. It was he has a lot of I think, I don't know, something's going on there. He gets Patrick Ewing treatment, which he hasn't accomplished anything close to that.
I believe it though, because he's got the Kentucky connection. Obviously, Leon and Wes. So
remember,
makes sense.
Remember Utah was playing. Who the hell was Utah playing? They were playing the Mavericks. It was in the playoffs.
Yeah, they were there.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're all there. And Randall was one of the guys. It was Worldwide West, Leon Rose, Allen Houston, and Julius Randle.
Yeah.
It's it's very strange.
They wanted his intel on, hey, what do you think about you and Brunson? You think you can pair? And literally all of us as fans are we want Brunson, but we're can we get Brunson with Mitchell or Brunson with, DeJounte?
I like him much better though with Jalen Brunson this year. I think he's having a better year. They won that Denver game because of him.
Yeah.
He was a monster. He's having a better year so far than last year. The one strange thing is RJ Barrett. He got a point guard, and now RJ Barrett can't play with a point guard. It's weird.
Yeah, and RJ, this is his trend, right? Maybe after January 1st, he'll be awesome. And he's had some games this year. He's been awesome, but most of them have been bad. Paul's favorite player.
Oh yeah.
Paul, Adam, why don't you send us Durant?
I'll get back to you. Let me see what else I can
I
get
think
for
Durant genuinely likes trolling the Knicks, trolling Knicks fans. Remember, he had that comment after the game against the Knicks where they killed him.
He loves it.
He loves it.
Yeah, his favorite game of the year. His favorite game of the year is the Knicks games for sure.
Well, I think it has to do with Rich Kleinman, his manager.
Yeah, for sure.
Grew up
Definitely.
a diehard Knicks fan, so I think he loves that dynamic of just being your team sucks.
I think it's two things. I think it's climate, and I think the Knicks fans give a lot of shit on the internet.
Yeah.
So I think it's twofold.
They asked him about that, and he was just like, "Man, it's all in fun. I want to create this rivalry. I want to be a part of it." So he loves booing the Knicks fans. It's great.
Yeah.
I respect the play. I like that.
Yeah.
I think when you guys talk about the Knicks, it feels very negative to me.
Yeah, to say the least.
I know.
But when we were on this pod before the year, we said, hey, maybe they'll be 500.
I know.
And right now they're 8-9.
I was thinking about that.
Right?
Yeah.
They're a 500 team. Randall, to me, that net game was not great, but I felt like he was the one guy that gave a shit.
But
here's
here's the difference. I'd be okay with being around 500 or a little better than 500 playing game. But if Obi and Quickly are playing a lot of minutes, we're seeing Deuce McBride, we're seeing some of the young talent. When they're just throwing out vets and they're still this mediocre or less than mediocre, it just makes it worse. I don't know. Maybe that's the difference for me, at least.
I think Brunson, to me, he's probably lived up to the billing, if not better.
No,
right?
He's been great. I love him. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I would even say better.
Better, yeah. So the big mistake to me was they didn't have to extend Barrett. They didn't have to extend him. They could have just went into restricted free agency next year, and he's a restricted free agent, and then figured it out. They didn't have to give him that $100 million deal. So now you have him at 30 plus for the next couple of years, Like that might change his trade value. Like that was probably a contract, and especially after you paid. And I'm going to sound like a broken record because I said it on the last couple of pods, I think. But when you pay Randall 100, then you pay Brunson 100. Like once you lock in RJ, like now you have 3 guys at 100 million, and none of them are really like in that upper tier. Like what is the ceiling of this team? It's severely capped. So I don't like. It is what it is now. Like I guess. You could kind of go up from the middle, like, and try to trade up there, but like you can't go forward with this triumvirate, and you just can't. It's impossible.
Yeah,
they're in purgatory. They have to get lucky with the draft.
Purgatory
with all these picks.
Yeah,
they need some luck. They have to draft a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. They got to get one of these guys.
they need a Jets draft. They need what the Jets did this year.
Yeah, I think maybe it might come down to like, okay, if you're the Knicks, like, okay, let's pick a direction here. Okay, like if you believe that Randall is your best player, which I do, right, and then Brunson, then try to package the young guys and see if you can figure something out and get somebody in there that could be, a third guy or like the guy, and start competing, in that 3, 4, 5 range versus where they are now, or maybe trade Randall, keep Barrett, and go the other way with it, and try to slip into that lottery spot. That's what I think they got to do. So I think that they're kind of in a similar situation to the Nets, where like they got like a little stretch here where they got to figure out if they're really going to compete, and if they're going to compete, they got to bolster this roster up. But if not, then maybe it's time to pull the plug on Randall and try to play the kids and slide more towards the draft.
Yeah.
It's
a lot to figure out here. Yeah,
I'm still ready for this Durant trade to the Knicks. Let's go, Adam.
I mean, listen, I want to slide back in the lotto. I don't know about the young guys on the Knicks. I don't really love it. So
yeah.
I'll say this. I was hoping we could like have a chance at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. How good is this kid, man? He's untradeable.
It's amazing.
He's awesome.
He's amazing. Two-way player.
Sick.
Two-way player. Scores at will, right? Like, it makes it look so easy. And, I mean, he's got some injury stuff, but whatever.
Is he the league leader in points? He's up there, right? He's over 30 a game.
I think there's like 7 guys averaging 30 a game.
He's 50, 40, 90 too. I just saw.
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's having like a perfect season so far.
I didn't know he could shoot like that.
I know.
They have a really fun team with Giddey, and then next year they'll get Chet. Maybe Chet will come back at the end of this year just to test it out.
That'd be fun. Maybe they play in team. If they're
yeah, they've been playing really well.
Yeah, them. But yeah, there's no player out there for Knicks. So yeah, they need to decide like, hey, do we just fire Thibodeau? Let's see Johnny Bryant coach, play some of the young guys, and then just go from there. I don't know. It's so bad. Like they're kind of like a crossroads here. I don't know.
But someone's going to ask out. Like someone's going to be unhappy around the deadline. Like it's inevitable. Like even though we can't think of it now, like it's going to happen. Like that's just the way the league.
It'd be nice is if it's Ant Edwards.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Oh, were you? Okay, yeah, we're on the same page.
I think he's really unhappy. But again, I don't know if you get him. Like, it's a nice player, right? But I still don't know what he is or what his potential is.
Yeah, because he's having kind of like a rough start too, right? That whole team. And by the way, that was my prediction. That team would be a disaster.
Right.
Yeah.
And they kind of have been so far. I don't know.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of surprise. It's the NBA season, the beginning at least, is a lot like the NFL, where it's a lot of we didn't predict a lot of this stuff happening. Like Utah. Utah's a really good team.
Yeah, didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming at all.
And Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
It's good. There's no
Shaden Sharp is
dominant
unbelievable.
team. Yeah, my guy.
He's unbelievable. I think he's going to be like a top 5 player. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
Yeah, he's unbelievable. I've never seen he reminds me of Tracy McGrady. Like like the guy, the jump shot is pure. He's one of the best athletes in the whole league. He's got size for a wing. I don't know. I think when he's fully mature, he's got a chance to be as good as anybody.
He's a
Man.
beast.
Fuck.
I think Portland would just hold him out. I think Portland would hold him out of a KD trade. Like I don't even think they could get KD. I don't think KD could get you Shaedon Sharp. Like that's how good I think he's looked.
Damn. Yeah, him and Keegan Murray, right? They've been the best two rookies. Murray looks like a vet. Like he's
Talk about that, like how unpredictable the season's been. Sacramento's the best in California.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Right now, absolutely. Saboner,
Yeah, you got
Herter.
the number one offense in the West.
Fox has been amazing. I forget. I think I was playing against him. Who has him? Paul, you have him.
Yeah, I got Fox.
And we were tight every week in fantasy. I'm tight, and then I end up losing. But but Fox, I think it was like the Saturday or Sunday of our week, our matchup, and like I was watching that game, and he was just like unconscious. Like he was just hitting everything.
Yeah, he's shooting well, and he's at a different speed than everybody. He just looks like he's playing a different sport, speed-wise.
Yeah. Team's fun. A lot of parity right now. It's still early, but I mean, what's like the really bad teams right now?
Orlando?
The Lakers.
I was gonna say Lakers, but I think they won 3 in a row.
Well,
Right?
AD, of course, he decides to go off the week I'm playing against him. Yeah, of course. Shout out to Mike.
Houston has been horrible.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. And like, what are they like?
Yeah,
what's Eric Gordon doing? Like, he's probably like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause he's like the only vet on the team. Who else? Detroit, I guess, has been pretty bad. They've been injured a lot, right? Cade hasn't really played.
Yeah, he's out. I think he broke his shin, right?
Oh, damn. That sucks.
Yeah, he's out indefinitely.
But, if you're a Pistons fan, you get to see a lot of Ivy, who I haven't really been paying too much attention, but I like the way he looked against the Knicks.
What about Cunningham being hurt?
Yeah, we just said that.
Oh, sorry.
No, all good.
So he's gonna be out for months, I think. No?
Yeah, I think he broke his shin.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not a good injury. It's tough.
Who would you guys say is like the MVP right now? Tatum?
Oof.
Kelly Olynyk.
Olynyk.
I like
maybe.
Tatum. That's a good one.
Luka.
You think Luka? The Celtics are like playing really well. You know what I mean? They're just a really good team. And Tatum's just, I don't think I've seen him miss a shot. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's insane.
I know it's been maybe slight bias, and I know they haven't been the most, consistent team, but I mean, Durant's got to be in the combo, no?
Yeah, no, he's in it. Yeah, absolutely.
He's had the most consecutive 25 games to start a season since Will Chamberlain.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think he's shooting like 60% from the field. Yeah, he's been playing pretty good.
I'd say the top 5 best players in the league so far: Luka, Durant, Tatum. Who's the other 2 you would throw in there right now? Shea Gilgeous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Lauri Markkanen?
yeah, Lauri Markkanen. Let's go. He's been great.
How about campaign?
Oh yeah, because Chris Paul's been.
He's been killing it with that Paul.
Yeah.
He looks great.
Yeah, he has.
He's a good solid backup.
Yeah.
Where would you like? Where would you rate like Randall or Brunson? Those are probably the next 2 best players. Like, where would you rate them in the league, like number wise?
So here's
Go ahead. Josh,
I don't think the Knicks have a top 50 player. Tops, maybe it's in 60
Okay,
or
wow.
65
So not even top 50. Okay, I think I agree.
I was gonna do a little better. I was gonna say that probably they probably crack the top 40. I'd say Brunson might be like number 35 on the list.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, because like Juice, if you're saying not even top 50, that means there's a guy, the second player on each team is better than our best player, or almost all the teams, right?
Almost, yeah. Like there's no star player on our team.
Right, we know that. Yeah.
Like even bad teams. Like if you like take Orlando, right? They have Paolo.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I'd rather have him than anyone. Probably. I mean, I love Brunson, but Paolo's like,
I don't know.
He's gonna be a top 10 player, I think.
That's what makes it tough, right? The game. If you look at the games that we've lost, the guys, the stars killed us. Like DeJounte Murray absolutely massacred us when we played Atlanta.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell looked like Michael Jordan. Shea, Ja,
Yeah.
all these guys. And
Yeah.
that's the missing piece. Like,
Tatum.
we need that
Yeah.
guy.
No, I know. And I think that's the part that sucks the most. Not the mediocrity, not Thibs, not playing the young guys. We don't have that guy. We just don't. And it sucks. We're the most valuable basketball team in the fucking world, and we don't have a star player.
And they really haven't had since Melo,
Right. Yeah.
Like KP was like supposed to be, it didn't work out. And
Right.
after that, it's been kind of this mismatch right now.
Yeah.
But I really think that they're in the position. I know we've been saying this for too long, and everyone's been saying this for too long, but they're definitely in a position to get a guy, and there's going to be a guy available. So I think it's just going to come down to patience, making sure it's the right guy versus.
Oh yeah, patience. We have
let's
that.
in on Bradley Beal, like you guys said.
Been patient this long, right? Yeah, that's another another year.
Right.
That brings me to my next point. Juice, you wanted to talk about, if the Knicks folded or they just disappeared and we had to pick a team. Let's talk about that. Well, Juice, let's start with you. It was your topic.
Wait, can you explain the rules one more time?
Yeah, Juice, explain the rules.
Okay, so the NBA decides to contract and they eliminate your team, right? I could say, let's say both teams, right? Because I would probably pick Brooklyn just because I used to live in Brooklyn and proximity and all that stuff, right? So let's say you can't pick Brooklyn, Adam. You can't pick the Knicks.
Okay.
So they just eliminated your team, and you have to follow a new team, and that's your team. I'm talking about you follow them in the off season. You buy all their apparel throughout the years. You follow their free agency, the trades. You're a diehard fan of this team now. Who do you pick? It's a hard question.
It is.
I probably would have said, if this was the year 2000, I probably would have said Miami. Just because at least I would have more years of Pat Riley. Pat Riley's kind of old now.
But even after all, like, because they were like our heated rival, like we hated them.
It's true. But if they, that would have been a weird move. Like, you can't go to like the team that you hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have one like off the top of your head?
I got one.
Go for it.
Well, I said this in the group chat, but and I'm sticking with it. The Dallas Mavericks, because you go the star Luka, the owner Cubes, and the coach Kid. I think they're all like solid and are going to be there a long time. I like their uniforms. I like the arena. Dallas is like, kind of a major market, right?
Getting bigger. It's getting bigger too.
Getting bigger too. Yeah, a lot of tech going there, and just people from New York and California. So the Mavericks. I
think that's a good one.
Yeah, that would be mine. So yeah,
I got one. Easy for me.
Easy. Okay. Wow.
Very easy. I'm going Pelicans.
Wow. Long term.
Ooh.
I'll tell you why. First of all, you're good right now. Okay, you got Zion for the next however many years under contract. Ingram also. You got all those Laker picks. I don't care about market. I root for the New Jersey Nets. They couldn't. They were selling 2-for-1 season tickets. So small market, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll fly out to New Orleans and catch a game for cheap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. It's lined up for them right now, and going forward, they got so many assets. Like they might be able to get KD and keep all their guys.
That's crazy.
Like they could just add KD to that group, like Zion, Ingram, and KD.
Good GM
and
too.
TK.
Good GM too.
Yeah, good GM.
Yeah,
good GM. A young coach, unproven, but we'll see how it goes. A lot of good young players. Herb Jones. We haven't seen Dyson Daniels yet. I always like CJ. So yeah, easy one for me. I'm going Pelicans.
Okay, nice, good one. Pancakes. You have one?
Yeah, Toronto. You got poutine fries, Drake. Get your own country.
Masai.
You got dinosaur as a logo. Masai. I mean, what's not to like? Come on.
There you go. The 6.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's
Great
actually a good
fans.
one.
I really like Toronto.
It's a good one.
No, they do. They have a great coach. They have a great, GM, president, whatever he is. That is a good
I
one.
think their fan base is great.
Yeah, good fan base. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, they got all Canada behind them.
They got a
You
whole
got the
country.
Jurassic Park thing going, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, they
Well,
got
I mean, I think the real thing we need the team back in Seattle for sure.
it's happening.
Oh, yeah.
It's happening.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
That and Vegas are happening, right? And then the Pels and the Grizzlies, I gotta assume, would move to the East. And then the Vegas team, which LeBron supposedly is going to be involved with in some capacity. And then obviously the Sonics. So, yeah, I don't know when that's going to happen. Anyone know when that's going to happen? Those two teams? A few years away, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they wanted to wait till after. They wanted to get a new collective bargaining agreement and then like renew some of the TV deals before going that route.
Yeah. Yeah. That should be fun.
I might go Clippers.
Clippers, okay.
Yeah, new arena, right?
New arena, yeah.
Richest owner, new arena. I don't know. I used to like play with them in video games like when I was younger because like they were the worst team always, but they
Yeah.
had cool players like Elton Brand, Darius Miles, and I don't know. But I think part of it is like you need a passionate fan base. You really need like people that are going to be crazy about the team. So I don't know. It's a hard question. I don't know.
It is tough. It is tough. Yeah. Yeah, because I thought about it, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of teams I like. I like the Thunder and the Kings, but it's like, long term, would I? I don't know. So, yeah, it's tough.
You know what though? There's some like in rooting for a team that's like kind of like bad and like there's a little bit of I don't know how to explain it. Like when you're rooting for a team that's bad that's on the way up, it's kind of fun. Like the building process and how they draft and
Yeah.
who can they expect in free agency. And there's no real pressure, and you're watching these young guys, go out and play. I think that's a fun time to be a fan of a team, also.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
if you win it, like if you build a super team in one off season and then you win it like two times or three times or whatever, I don't think it's the same as a team that's been bad for a while, been building it, and then they come up and then it's like, holy shit, finally this team is like good. They win.
Yeah, I agree.
It means so much more.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
when the Knicks win the championship, I will be inconsolable.
Yeah. Yeah. I dream about that scenario sometimes, and I get choked up thinking about it. So
Everyone would be like, what the hell happened? And Adam, I know you're the same way too. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember you still watching the games when they had 12 wins or whatever that season was.
Yeah, I watched them all.
Yeah.
12-70.
Ride or
Kiki
die.
Vanderway. Kiki Vanderway pulling his hair out.
You know what?
Came down from the front office. They made him coach after they fired Lawrence Frank. He's like, I don't want to do this. They're like, we don't care. It's like, okay, fine.
12-70. You know what? And 2 of those wins were against the Knicks.
Yep.
And the best part in the draft with John Wall, we came in third in that lottery. We ended up with Derek Favors. Yay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's not even like picking low or where you pick. You got to hit it in the right year, man.
Yep.
You really do.
Yep.
You like you have to hit it when this spreadsheet comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So he's next year's draft, right? Wembanyama?
Yeah, Wemby.
Yeah.
Yep. Him and Scoot.
Coming up, and then Scoot Henderson is too. But I've read, because randomly when the Knicks make me upset, I Google mock drafts. It's a very loaded draft. It's going to be good, they're saying.
Well, you know what? I was thinking about it yesterday also. I'm like, hey, listen, if we watch college basketball this year, right, there's going to be 4 or 5 guys probably that show out. And then the top two picks in the draft are not going to be in college. So that's pretty already there's the top 2 picks already built in. So everything we see after that is going to be in the draft after that. So conceivably, you're going to be looking at, if there's 3 good players in college basketball that you think could be franchise guys potentially down the road, like you got 5 there. That's 5 players already. So that's the way
there's a bunch of guys from like G League, Ignite, and other guys that are like in that range. So like you could pick later in the lottery and get the best college basketball player in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
Absolutely. We'll see as we get closer. The Paul Strader will grace our presence.
Let's go.
Are you guys getting into the World Cup?
I watched it today.
Yeah, I watched USA Wales. That was like a tale of two games, right? Like US dominated the first half, and then Wales dominated the second half.
This is what they do. The USA, it's like they score the first goal, and they become like these NFL teams where they go in that prevent defense after getting a lead.
Yeah, you were saying
and
that.
it never work.
Yeah.
Never works out. Like
Yeah.
you got to keep doing what you're doing. I hate when teams do that.
I know.
Happens all the time.
I know. That was annoying. Other than that,
they play England Friday.
England, yeah, that's gonna be a big one. Other than that, I haven't been too into it. I put a small wager on Belgium to win it, for fun. They had good.
Oh,
they had
Dutch,
good.
huh?
They had good.
They
had good odds.
What were the odds on that? Like
It was plus
50,000?
1,900.
Wow.
So I bet 10 to win 200. Nothing crazy, but
I love their
I think-
waffle.
I think soccer's the way to go with those like long shot bets.
yeah, fuck it.
Soccer, for sure.
Fuck it. But supposedly only 8 teams have ever won the World Cup, or 8 countries have ever won the World Cup. Like, that's it.
Well, let's see. Italy, Brazil.
Yep.
France.
France.
Germany. France.
That's 4.
Argentina got-
England actually won it back in the
Argent-
60s. 5.
England. Yeah. Argentina. I got it wrong.
Yeah, they got one with Maradona.
Maradona. So that's 6.
Colombia.
I don't know if Colombia ever won it.
Spain.
Spain. Yes.
Portugal?
That's 7.
Yeah.
So we're missing one.
Uh,
I think it's like a random one.
Canada.
I think Uruguay,
Yeah, what?
Uruguay or something like won it back in the day. I think that's the 8th.
Probably. Yeah.
It's a random one, but that's it.
Wow. That's it.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's really hard. So,
That is not.
yeah.
Maybe Iran will win it this year.
Or Qatar. I got a small bet
Qatar.
with shouts to Nick Orsini. Got a small bet, just like on lunch or something, that Qatar won't score a goal. Because he thinks because they're playing in Qatar that like they're gonna win a game somehow because it's gonna be rigged. I think they're just
Is
probably
that how you pronounce it?
yeah Qatar
No.
yeah.
I think it's Qatar. No.
I used to think it's Qatar, but I think it's Qatar.
I used to think it was Qatar, and then I heard it was Qatar.
Like, Qatar. What is Qatar?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's one of those things I got confused, so I don't know what's right.
I don't either.
It's Qatar. It's Qatar.
I like
Is it like acai? It's
yeah,
like you don't know
yeah.
if it's
a Kai
Thai or what?
Yeah. I think it's one of those. Whatever, however you feel.
Well, for years I thought Qatar too. I was like, no, it's Qatar. But no, it's Qatar.
But yeah, I think they're just you get it. You get a automatic bid if it's your country. They're probably terrible. So I don't know. I don't think they'll score.
I just
a
want to
goal, but
know how much these FIFA vote members got to, approve them or whatever, take their bid. It's
Yeah.
so corrupt, FIFA.
it's so corrupt. Yeah, I remember watching a doc like years ago about this World Cup. Like I felt
There's
like
on one it now. There's a new one that's on Netflix. I didn't watch it yet, but I heard it's like crazy.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw it in previews. Looks pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, it shows everything.
It's so frustrating. And then you can't even drink inside the games, but inside the the suites and press boxes, you could drink there. So
Stupid.
Yeah.
If I flew to Qatar for the World Cup and they told me I couldn't drink in the stadium, I just wouldn't go to the games.
yeah, I mean,
Oh,
it's-
hell no.
yeah,
Or just watch the games at a bar.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting in that stadium sober. No chance.
It's so funny though because like the Wales fans, they're like going nuts today. You'd think they were drunk. I mean, maybe they were. They drank before
Oh, they
the
definitely
game.
were before.
Yeah. Because the games are, the games aren't like that long.
Yeah.
So
Hour and a half.
yeah,
That's it.
hour and a half. Yeah, that's it. So you can drink before and have a pretty good buzz. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. It's weird World Cup not being in the summer, but something else to watch, I guess.
Yeah, World Cup on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, bizarre. But I guess it was too hot in Qatar, for the summer, so they had to do this. Whatever.
Qatar.
Yeah. But all right, good shit. Thanksgiving. What's everyone's favorite sides? I feel like we do this every year.
Here we go.
I feel like we do this every year.
No, I don't think we did. Did we?
I don't know.
This might be a new one.
I like my nonni did we've kept the tradition going, a spinach sausage stuffing. It's amazing.
Ooh.
It's amazing. Yeah.
That's
I actually
that's what my mom does it too. It's legit.
the same one.
Yeah, maybe they shared recipes back in the day.
Possibly,
but,
or it might be an Italian thing, but it's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
really good.
I may take a stab at it and actually like cook it. We'll see. Wish me luck.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wish me luck. But that's my favorite. So
nice. I like I do like a concoction. I mix up everything. So I do like the scalloped potatoes with the stuffing and the
Ooh.
cream spinach and make it all good. And then
Nice.
I just make a whole mess of everything, but it just flows.
and you don't
nice.
even smoke weed.
No.
Nice.
Straight eater.
Yeah.
I'm a big mashed potato guy on Thanksgiving.
I love mashed potatoes. Yeah.
Like just a bottomless bucket of mashed potatoes for me.
Oh yeah.
So good. Extra creamy. Juice?
My mom does a really good stuffing with sausage in it also.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
say that.
I think that's the key, the sausage, right?
The sausage.
Yeah, that's it. But I also love a good mashed potato.
Yeah.
For sure.
Or
Does anybody like cranberry sauce?
I'm not a fan.
Because I do not.
Yeah.
I refuse to eat it.
Not a fan.
Hold on.
Never
Hold
been.
on. I'm going to change your mind right now.
Oh God.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Take a nice Italian roll, turkey,
Okay.
gravy,
Oh,
stuffing,
on
and
the sandwich.
drop a piece of cranberry sauce right on
See,
top.
Okay, maybe.
I can do that. It's the whole separate thing, like the big mosh of like
Yeah.
the Jello looking thing. I don't
Yeah.
know. Something like I never liked Jello, and then the whole cranberry. It's just kind of But if it's on the sandwich, it's like kind of hidden, and it's like a
Yeah.
sauce. Yeah.
It's like an accent.
Yeah. I like that
Yeah.
because the sandwich
I
is the best part, right? The next day or weekend. Yeah.
need it
Almost
on my
time for
turkey.
turkey sandwiches.
Yeah.
What show?
Is that Sopranos?
Oh, yeah. Remember? Because some guy, I think one of the Jet guys, he always like puts it on Twitter.
Okay.
Almost time for turkey sandwiches.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he throws
yeah.
the bread at the. He throws the bread at the guy.
Yeah.
It's good.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm hungry now. Shit.
Yeah, I haven't eaten yet, so I gotta do that. All right, good shit. Well, everyone enjoy the holiday, and then
Except for Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Yes, good call. Good call there. And take care. Come here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.